Well, did Idaho lawmakers hit the mark this session? Well, that depends on who you ask. Boise State School of Public Policy, they always lead into this session with a survey of their own, a survey of Idahoans, priorities from people from across the state. Lawmakers are then given that data. They put it out there for everybody to see. And what they do with it, well, that's their choice. Joe Parris takes us through the data, what people preferred and what lawmakers actually ended up accomplishing.
For a decade now, Boise State has worked to inform lawmakers about what the people of the Gem State want on key policy issues.
Here's where Idahoans stand on an issue, and then letting them fold that into their own decision-making process with whatever weight they choose to place on it. And then after that, the system works the way it's intended.
Dr. Matthew May is the Policy Survey Research Director. No surprise, lawmakers had a clear goal this session topic-wise, one that did align with Idahoans.
The number one priority for Idahoans going back the past 10 years of our survey has been education.
Lawmakers spent a good chunk of the session debating and voting on a long list of education and education-related pitches. Digging in deep, though, Idahoans had a clear top goal in education.
Number one budget priority under education was increasing teachers' pay, and that was far and away kind of the top priority that Idahoans expressed.
And lawmakers accomplished that, signing off on raises that range from $1.05 to $1.55 an hour, close to $85 million in total funding, and that money essentially goes to the school district, and then the raises are handled locally through contract negotiations. But the number one topic in education at the State House was school choice. Lawmakers passed the parental choice tax credit, allowing families to get a $5,000 tax rebate for education expenses, including private school tuition.
From our survey this year, we can see that when presented in a vacuum with the concept of using tax dollars to pay for private or religious education, that Idahoans generally did not favor that particular move.
To be exact, 53% opposed using tax dollars for private or religious education. A surprising survey result in a different area had some Idahoans clearly disappointed in some legislative action.
We did have a new question this year where we asked if how Idahoans would rate the difficulty of health care access in Idaho at this time, and about half said that they would say their access is difficult.
Critics worry that new Medicaid legislation, for example, will cost some Idahoans their health coverage. Dr. May wants to study health care and access for next year.
What we're hoping to do with next year's survey and future research efforts is kind of digging into what they mean by that and trying to tease out the why, which hopefully can help inform policymakers to turn that into something actionable.
And there was general appreciation from Idahoans on the fifth most important topic, taxes. Giving tax relief to Idahoans was a high budget priority according to the survey. And Brian, as we mentioned, Idahoans will be getting property tax relief, income tax relief, grocery tax relief. However, there are still questions out there with the revenue projection. What will the final numbers look like in terms of money coming in, money coming out? It's
interesting, the access to health care and that 53% saying they don't want public money going to private education, and the overwhelming emails that we know the governor's office got and phone calls, they still put that thing through.
They did.
All right. Thanks, Joe.